Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm recapping the second round of the Club World Cup and dropping my quick predictions for the upcoming matchups. Let's get into it. Palmeiras secured a solid 2-0 win over Egyptian side Al Ahly in a match that was briefly interrupted by a storm at MetLife Stadium. The Brazilian club controlled most of the game, but it wasn't until the second half that they broke through. The goals came within a 10-minute stretch, both showcasing Palmeiras' physical and tactical superiority in midfield. Awali had some bright moments, particularly in transitions, but never looked truly threatening in the final third. Despite the weather delay, Palmeiras remained composed and methodical, earning a win that aligns with their strong pre-tournament expectations. This result puts them in a commanding position in Group A, with a clear path to the knockout stages if they maintain their momentum. Inter Miami 2, Porto 1. This was arguably the most dramatic win of the day. Porto struck first from the penalty spot with a composed finish by Samu, punishing Miami for their clumsy challenge in the box. Inter Miami, however, turned things around in the second half. Venezuelan midfielder Telasco Segovia equalized with a brilliant header off a well-placed cross, breathing new life into the MLS side. Then came the magic. In the 78th minute, Lionel Messi curled a stunning free kick into the top corner, making his first ever goal in the Club World Cup match not played for Barcelona. Porto pushed forward in the final minutes, but Miami held firm. This win is historic. It makes the first time an MLS side has beaten an European side in the Club World Cup. And with Messi leading the charge, Miami's hopes of advancing are suddenly real. For Group B, we had two games, Seattle Sounders versus Atletico Madrid and Botafogo against PSG. Seattle Sounders won, Atletico Madrid 3. Atletico Madrid showed their class and efficiency in a 3-1 victory over Seattle Sounders. Spanish midfielder Pablo Barrios was the standout performer, scoring twice in the first half, one from a quick counter and the other one from a tidy finish in the edge of the box. Seattle looked overwhelmed early, but fought back after halftime with a goal from Albert Rusnak, who slotted home after a defensive lapse by Atletico. The Sounders' fight back was short-lived though, as Atletico restored their two-goal cushion shortly after with a goal by substitute Angel Correa. Despite having the crowd on their side, Seattle's lack of sharpness in the midfield and slow defensive rotations proved costly. Atletico, meanwhile, confirmed that they were considered dark horses for the title. Clinical, composed, and quietly confident. And for the standout game of yesterday, in my opinion, we had Botafogo 1, PSG 0. In what may go down as the biggest shock of the tournament so far, Brazilian underdogs Botafogo stunned PSG 1-0 in a defensive masterclass. The lone goal came in the 36th minute when Igor Jesus finished the swift counterattack with a low drive past Donnarumma. PSG dominated possession and fired 18 shots towards goal, but Botafogo's backline held firm with brave blocks, tight marking, and goalkeeper John Victor delivering a flawless performance. PSG was frustrated throughout, as Botafogo absorbed wave after wave of pressure. With this victory, Botafogo not only handed PSG their first defeat in 19 matches, but also announced themselves as genuine contenders. From being overlooked before the tournament, the Brazilian side is now just one result away from qualifying, and they've already made their biggest statement. For Group C, there were two games, Benfica versus Auckland City and Bayern Munich versus Boca Juniors. For Benfica versus Auckland City, it ended up 6-0. The highest scoring romp began with two Angel Di Maria penalties, one just before halftime and the other one in the next half in stoppage time as well. After a weather delay that significantly interrupted play, second half goals from Pavlidis, Renato Sanchez, and a brace from Leandro Barreiro helped Benfica outshoot Auckland City 31-1. Despite the huge scoreline, a sideline spat between coach Bruno Lage and a midfielder Okun Koksu marked a rare flashpoint. Though it didn't derail their performance, this dominant performance boosts Benfica's morale and puts them in a strong position heading into their final group match. For Bayern Munich versus Boca Juniors, this was a gritty, passionate affair in Miami, with Bayern edging past Boca Juniors 2-1. Harry Kane opened the score in the 18th minute with a composed finish after a loose clearance. Boca responded after halftime with Miguel Merentiel finishing a fast break. Late drama ensued when Michael Olise, set up by Kane, curled in the winner in the 85th minute. The match featured intense physicality. Boca pressed aggressively and even rattled Bayern's Jamal Musiala with tough tackles. Despite the fight, Bayern's composure and late game execution proved decisive, confirming confirming their spot in the knockout stages. And I nailed these two games in my other prediction video, where I said the Bayern Munich game was going to be 2-1 for Bayern Munich, and I said Benfica was going to win 6-0 against Auckland City. So that was spot on for me. And for Group D, we had also two games. Flamengo versus Chelsea and LAFC versus Esperance Tunis. For the Esperance Tunis game, Esperance Tunis thrilled fans with a precise 70-minute goal from Youssef Belaili, who expertly tapped in a rebound from the set-piece delivery. LAFC dominated possession, even creating two disallowed goals and earning a stoppage time penalty. However, Dennis Bwanga's spot kick was saved, sealing the American club's elimination from the tournament. Esperance's compact defense and tactical discipline allowed them to absorb LAFC's pressure and come away with a hard-fought win that keeps them alive in Group D. Now for the most exciting game of the day, Flamengo won against Chelsea 3-1. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. After conceding early to a composed finish by Pedro Neto, Flamengo roared back in the second half. Bruno Henrique struck once and Danilo struck for the second time, turning the match on its head with clinical precision. As Chelsea scrambled, Nicholas Jackson's red card left them exposed, as Wallace Jan sealed the 3-1 win with a powerful strike. But beyond the scoreline, this result may ripple across European football. Flamengo didn't just beat Chelsea, they outplayed them. The tactical organization, technical flair, and mental resilience showed that South American clubs do have the ability to match and beat Europeans' elite on the global stage. For years, the narrative has forced European dominance, but this performance reminded everyone the gap may not be as wide as they think. For Group E, we had Inter versus Urawa Red Diamonds, which ended up 2-1 for Inter, and River Plate versus Monterrey, which ended up 0-0. For Inter versus Urawa Red Diamonds, Urawa struck early in the 11th minute as Ryoma Watanabe converted a slick cutback, but Inter Milan dominated possession and finally broke through in the 78th minute via a spectacular overhead kick by Lautaro Martinez. In stoppage time, substitute Valentin Carboni flicked in a winner, sealing a dramatic late victory and sending Urawa home eliminated. Inter had a staggering 26 total shots and 4 on goal, but couldn't find the net until late, highlighting both their dominance and finishing issues. For River Plate versus Monterrey, this ended as a tense tactical draw. Monterrey's keeper Esteban Andrade was the hero, producing key saves denied from Franco Mastantuono, Miguel Borja, and Enzo Perez to keep River off the board. River Plate had 18 shots, but only 6 on target, highlighting Monterrey's disciplined, reactive defense. River finished with 10 men as Kevin Castano was sent off late, but Monterrey held on and stayed 2 points behind their rivals. Both teams remain in contention ahead of the final group stage clashes. While for Group F, we had Mamelodi Sundowns versus Borussia Dortmund and Fluminense versus Ulsan HD. For the Dortmund game, Mamelodi Sundowns stunned with an early goal from Lucas Ribeiro Costa in the 11th minute, but Dortmund responded swiftly with strikes from Felix Mecha, Sergio Guirassy, and Joe Bellingham, and even benefited from an own goal, jumping to a 4-1 lead. However, Sundowns refused to go down quietly, scoring twice late through Ikram Reyners and Lebo Motiba, making it 4-3 in a thrilling turnout before ultimately falling short. The match was played under scorching conditions, over 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit, with Dortmund's midfield shaping control under extreme heat. With this win, Fluminense are still top of the table, with Dortmund in second, but they are tied on points. For Fluminense versus Ulsan HD, Ulsan impressed with a 2-goal lead at halftime, including a thunderbolt free kick from Lee Jin-hyun and a diving header by Won-sang. But Fluminense stormed back after break. Nonato pulled one back, Oliveira equalized before Juan Freitas scored the go-ahead goal in the 83rd minute, and Keko sealed the 4-2 win during stoppage time. The match featured 70% possession for Fluminense, 25 shots to Ulsan's 10, and crucial heroics from keeper Fabio. This comeback puts Fluminense level with Dortmund atop the group, keeping their knockout hopes alive. For Group G, there were two games: Man City versus Al Ain and Juventus versus Wydad Casablanca. For the Man City game, Manchester City asserted their dominance early, with Gundogan scoring in the 9th and 73rd minutes, and Claudio Echeverri curling a brilliant free kick in the 27th minute for his first senior goal. Erling Haaland added a penalty before halftime, while substitutes Oscar Bob and Ryan Cherky capped off the 6-0 route late in the game. The Citizens completed over 630 passes, fired 18 shots, and held overwhelming possession, showcasing Pep Guardiola's squad depth and tactical fluidity. Despite the dominant win, Gundogan noted that their tempo and build-up play wasn't perfect, a reminder that City is aiming for even higher standards. For the Juventus vs Wydad Casablanca game, Juventus took firm control of Group G with a commanding 4-1 win over Wydad Casablanca in Philadelphia. Kenan Yildiz stole the spotlight with 2 goals, including a stunning strike in the 16th minute and an early assist that led to a Botoyo own goal in the 6th minute. Wydad responded with a composed lob finish from Lorch in the 25th minute, briefly igniting hope for the comeback. But Juventus quickly reasserted control. Yildiz struck again in the 69th minute, and Dusan Vlahovic added a penalty in stoppage time to seal the result. Juventus remained unbeaten and top of the group, just ahead of Man City on goal difference. Coach Igor Tudor praised the team's focus and maturity, calling this performance a statement of their tournament ambitions. So this is how the group stands right now. It's exactly what I predicted, so just one round left, and I think this is how it's going to look either way. For Group H, there were also 2 games. It was Real Madrid versus Pachuca and Al Hilal versus Red Bull Salzburg. For Real Madrid versus Pachuca, Real Madrid overcame the challenge of playing almost the entire match with 10 men after Raul Asensio's red card in the 7th minute, showing strong character. Jude Bellingham opened the scoring in the 35th minute, followed by Arda Güler just before halftime. Both goals coming from quick, lethal transitions. In the second half, Federico Valverde extended the lead in the 70th minute, ensuring Real Madrid could control the game despite Phillips' equalizer by Elias Montiel late. Thibaut Courtois made crucial saves, especially in the first half, to keep Madrid in front. The result places Madrid in prime position to top Group H, showcasing tactical resilience and depth even under pressure. There was the other game, Red Bull Salzburg versus Al Hilal. Salzburg and Al Hilal played a tight 0-0 draw amid 99 degrees Fahrenheit, or 37 degrees Celsius, heat in Washington, D.C. Al Hilal dominated possession early, registering 19 attempts compared to Salzburg's 13, but only 1 shot was on target thanks to resolute defending. Salzburg had their chances too, including a close-range flick by Karim Onisiwu and a one-on-one opportunity for John Melberg, both denied by Stello saves. Goalkeeper Yacine Bono of Al Hilal was named man of the match after making 5 crucial saves and effectively nullifying Salzburg's movement. The draw leaves both teams with 4 points, but Salzburg trails Real Madrid on goal difference and awaits a decisive final group stage encounter. So the groups stand exactly how I stated as well. So now I'm going to be making my predictions of Matchday 3 that is starting today. But first, I'm going to be comparing my predictions of Matchday 2 to what actually happened. So my predictions for Matchday 2 for Group A was that Palmeiras would win 2-1 against Al Ahly, and that FC Porto was going to win against Inter Miami 1-2, which didn't happen. So that's what I got right and that's what I got wrong, kind of. I mean, the Palmeiras one was really close. It was just 1 goal from Al Ahly difference. And for my predictions for Matchday 3, I think Palmeiras is going to win against Inter Miami 2-0, and that Al Ahly is going to win against Porto 3-1. For Matchday 2, my predictions were that Seattle was going to lose against Atletico de Madrid 3-0, and that PSG was going to beat Botafogo 4-2, which was a huge upset for me. That did not happen at all. But PSG played a horrible game, and Botafogo just outshined them in general. Okay, and my predictions for Matchday 3 for Group B is that PSG is going to beat Seattle Sounders 3-0, and that Botafogo is going to lose to Atletico de Madrid 1-0, making my final predictions work. So for Group C, I actually got everything right. My predictions here said that Benfica was going to win 6-0, which they did. Benfica won 6-0. And I said Bayern Munich was going to win 2-1, and that happened as well. So I am perfect for this group. This group went 100% what I said. And now I'm going to say that Bayern, since they basically already made it to the knockout stages, I think they're not going to play with their full squad. I think they're going to rotate a few players. I think they're going to put on a bunch of subs. And I think that's going to cost them the win. I think it's still going to tie 1-1 against Benfica. And I think that Boca Juniors, since, again, Bayern won against them 10, Benfica won against them 2, or Benfica won against them by 6. So I think Boca Juniors is going to beat them by 4. Even though Boca Juniors will fight till the end, I think it's just going to be 4. I think Auckland City has been practicing, maybe. Yeah, I think that's just how I see that going for Group C. For Group D, my predictions were that Flamengo was going to beat Chelsea 1-0, and they won 3-1 very dominantly. So that was a surprise, but I still said that Flamengo was going to win, and that helps my final score thing. So I think that's good. And I said LAFC was going to beat Esperance 2-0 or 2-1. They lost 1-0. So that was surprising, to say the least. This is accurate to what I said. Just Esperance de Tunis and LAFC are flipped. I don't think LAFC are making it out of this group. I think I think for Matchday 3 they're tying Flamengo, and Chelsea are gonna beat Esperance de Tunis 3-0, making it look kind of like what I predicted. For Group E, I said that Inter Milan was gonna beat Red Diamonds 4-1. They beat them 2-1. So that still works. And I said that River Plate was gonna tie Monterrey. No, I said that River Plate was gonna beat Monterrey 1-0. That didn't happen. Monterrey's goalkeeper was extraordinary in that game, and they denied them of many chances. But my predictions they still stand, kind of. And I think that Inter are gonna beat River Plate 2-1, and I think that Red Diamonds are gonna tie Monterrey 1-1. For Group F, I said that Dortmund was gonna beat Sundowns 3-0. It was a lot harsher to beat Sundowns. It was 4-3. I still predicted kind of the result, just not the scoreboard. And I said that Fluminense was gonna beat Ulsan HD 3-1, which didn't happen, but they still won, so I count that as a win. For Matchday 3, I think Fluminense are beating Sundowns 2-1, and I think that Borussia Dortmund are going to beat Ulsan HD 3-0, which causes them to be on top and match my predictions. I think that's just accurate. That's what's going to happen. Ulsan HD, I will say, they did play a good game against Fluminense. Against Sundowns, I'm just going to be straight up. They were really bad. They were really bad against Sundowns. But against Fluminense, they did really good. They actually put up a fight. So I think they might bounce. I don't know. I think Dortmund still wins 3-0. It was pretty accurate in Group G. It's pretty accurate in Group G as well. I said that Juventus was gonna beat Y.AC 2-0, and they beat Y.AC 4-1. So that was a surprising win, but yeah, it helps my results anyway. And I said that Man City was gonna beat Al Ain 6-1, and they beat Al Ain 6-0. I think for the upcoming games, I think that Juventus are gonna beat Man City 1-0, and that Y.AC are gonna tie Al Ain 0-0. But this last game is really pointless. I mean, Al Ain can win by how many they want, and Y.AC can win by how many they want. They aren't qualifying. They're both out. It's in between these two to find out who's going to be first, and I think it's going to be Juventus. For Group H, it was also pretty accurate. I said that Real Madrid I said that Real Madrid is going to beat Pachuca 3-1, and that Red Bull Salzburg was going to beat Al Hilal 1-0. The Red Bull Salzburg almost happened if it wasn't for the goal for Bono. He really saved Al Hilal. And Real Madrid did beat Pachuca 3-1, but it was really difficult because of the 7th minute red card. So yeah. My predictions for the upcoming games is that Real Madrid is going to beat Red Bull Salzburg 3-1, and that Al Hilal is going to tie 1-1 against Pachuca. I think that's what's going to happen, and that really helps my results. So that wraps up my Matchday 2 recap and my predictions for the next round of the Club World Cup games. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, or if your team's about to shock the world. Make sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next recap, because we're following every twist and upset until the final whistle. See you next time.